video I'm doing, and I figured why not make a live video out of it. So you can follow along with me as I set up a green screen. So it's gonna be a flying shot, and lighting, filming, doing it all by myself with my little cats running around. Here's MJ. I've seen her in some other videos if you've been watching the channel. Cute, smart. Yeah. Not too naughty, actually. Alrighty, so let's get this going. I don't want to be wasting time, taking too long to do this stuff. So let's see if we can't get it done in a reasonable time. So this, we'll be using a leaf blower straight in my face later on, so that's going to be enjoyable. I've already set up one light. I didn't want to use my phone because I'm using that to record here, which also, stuff up number one, I have misplaced my DJI, wireless mic system, which I'd like to hook up to the phone, so the audio could have a slightly muffled effect, which sucks. But I've already set up this light over here. This is green glow. That's going to be helpful for the green screen. It's a nice little trick if you have a full color light setup, not just a standard sun bright or bicolor, but this is a full RGB light, the Amaran 60C. And yeah, because it's got a green screen, it should get green light at it. Helps to balance out so you don't get those same sort of hot spots that you have. Alrighty, so there's the screen itself. I have not kept this in a good fold place. It is folded, but also a little crinkled, which is not ideal when dealing with the green screen. You want it to be smooth as possible. Little pieces, clamps. Alrighty. The tripods are going to be a tripod I use for my Komodo, because you don't want to stick a multi-thousand-dollar camera on the weak tripods, the other stuff sitting on. Sadly, my second best tripod is still just some cheap little brand, but the leg broke on it as I was checking it out before. So that was really annoying. Alright, let's just angle that down a touch. There we go, so we can see what's happening. Little MJ over here, providing zero assistance, but being cute. Actually, last time I set my green screen, the two of them went wild for it, just running all over it and attacking it. So this is just a real cheap green screen setup that I got, I think I got it off eBay, maybe Amazon. It's a 3x5 meter, 3x5 meter cloth, I believe. So I got the biggest you can just find around. Lock that off. So yeah, you got a bit of floor space to be able to use with it. Versus getting a 3x3, I figured that wouldn't go very far. But, you know, it was like $110. It's like $110 or so. So it's not exactly the strongest, so you'd have to be nice to it. Alrighty, so let's go somewhere about here-ish. There. Like I said, Thor skit. Got Mjolnir here. Just like here. Roughly there. I had thought of, I've got a pop-out green screen. Sadly, I don't have any C stands or anything. That is going to be one of my near future buys. So I've got really no proper way. I'll just be leaning it up on the wall or something. It's 2.5, 3 meters by 1.5 or so. Just figured may not. Just the last time I shot, even with this big green screen, I had pieces that was going outside the green screen, and it's a real pain to sit there and have to mask all that stuff out. I have not been able to do any rotoscoping on my computer for some time now. Since I got the Komodo, the 6K raw footage just does not play with my computer when trying to do rotoscoping. So I seem to have lost that ability. I'm hoping an update at some point will bring it back, because rotoscoping is good stuff. So this is the top bar here that we're setting up. Yeah. So I don't think I've put those nearly wide enough. Nah. So just gonna have to right over here. Just do a temporary placing in there. And find how wide this one is. Yeah, it's close. Not too far off. So I'm just in my lounge room here. It's I had to move the couch around to allow this to actually function. And as you see behind me, I have quite the DVD, Blu-ray, 4K collection. It's I am a movie enthusiast. I like to make them and watch them. So securing these, you don't want to make it super tight, but it does need. Alright, so put the bar on, then stuff up. Another one. It helps if you got the green screen on there. Otherwise, there's really not much point to erasing it, is there? Alright. So the top of your screen, it comes with a stitched hole to be able to slide your bar through, and it's not too tricky. Let's get the other end. It's a bit easier to deal with that side, and it's pretty flexible, so I don't need to change much to this. Just take it off, just the wing nuts. Feed it through. It'll be all crumpled and whatnot. But it'll work. Alright, there we go, fixed. Place the wing nuts so it doesn't slip off. There we go. Now make sure this is balanced right. Slide it across. There we go. Man, that will adjust as we raise it up. Okay. So let's go do it incremental amounts. It's a lot easier if you have another person, but again, doing it by myself, so let's do it by small amounts. Just loosen that. That's one section high, like that. section, lock that. And you don't want to pop these too hard, I've discovered. It's got a little nut and bolt that secures it through a plastic clamp, and with enough shifting then it just comes off the rod. Easily fixed, but an annoyance nonetheless. So just be careful when you're reaching its end point not to pull it out too hard. Just bring upon more annoyances that could be easily avoided if just being careful. Bring this one back. I think I might have put that a little too high. And third section, up just shy of the roof. And same for this side. So right now, that little green light is only at 1%, so it should have a fair bit more to play with. For lighting this backdrop up. Across. And then this is where the clamps that come with the kit. So they're just basically the spring-loaded clamps that we have. You just pull that, it's a bit like a hand tensioner. So we'll just go and lock off down the pole. Wrap around and clamp. Yes, the green screen again. So this way you get a bit of tautness out of it. That helps to decrease some of the crinkles a little bit. So you can always go over this with like a some kind of steamer or even like an iron steam setting. It's supposed to help take out any little crinkles that you may have developed from storing it. I don't think the floor is going to be too necessary in this shot, but we'll pull it out a little bit anyway. Alright, let's have that like that for now, and then we can start working on building the camera up. I'll move this aside, being careful given it's got the broken leg on it. This is a heavy light. Yeah, okay. For the Manfrotto tripod. Interesting enough, this wasn't the more expensive one. I actually went for a slightly cheaper one of these because the fluid head on it was actually rated to hold more weight, and that was more useful to me than the more expensive one. Alright, so I keep my camera in a nice hard suitcase now with like the little pull-out foam cubes, and so it sits in here quite nicely. I'm mortified one day when I just realized what I was doing. I was carting this thing around in a shopping bag. It hit me, it was just so ludicrous to be doing. So I already had the hard case from my previous cameras, so I just repurposed it, just changed some of the shapes inside, and all of a sudden the good camera can now go in. So I'll angle that down again a little bit more so we can see that being built up. I'll bring it down a little closer. Let's see if I can't even get away with sitting right now. Alright. So the Komodo is a tiny little thing. It's effectively like a cinematic GoPro, if you want to compare it to anything. So yeah, it's a tiny little 6K unit with the RED codec. So we're upping our shutter speed. We don't necessarily want to cut out a lot of light, so I'm going to use my adapter that has no built-in filter. So we get maximum light. We'll be upping the f-stop. Because it's going to be a flying scene, hair's going to be flickering. So we want to keep that in focus as much as possible when recording this. Otherwise, it'll just become some horrible, horrible blurry mess later on. It still may. You know, I haven't done a test shot of this first before doing this video. Just went straight into doing this video. So, Pictor 20 to 55. This is a nice little lens. I've actually still yet to actually make it parfocal. So, my bad. Let's see, get a slightly better angle here. There. And what I just did recently, because I already had these nice ND filters on this thing, and you know, these things cost like $400 a piece. I'm forgetting off the top of my head who makes them. One of the good ones. Polar Pro, sorry. Polar Pro. But they only go up to a 86mm thread. That's what we're talking about here. What have we got? 82mm thread. And this was 86 for the DZO. So we're talking about 4mm difference. So what I actually got was a step down ring. Normally these things step up, and so you can take a large filter and put them on smaller lenses. In this case, I've actually managed to go back, because I've only going 4mm. It does not come into the view of the lens, doesn't cause any vignetting, which is really cool. So it's only very mild drop down, but yeah, it worked. So I did not have to buy more filters, because I already had really nice, it's got quartz crystal glass in this thing. And yeah, it's a very nice filter already. Yeah, right there. And yeah, this thing was like $10 or something of Amazon, eBay. So for that simple little purchase, I was able to keep that being a functional piece of my set. Because obviously now I've got this nice lens, I don't want to use my other lenses. But in saying that, this will still go on the other lenses. I've still got my step up rings and stuff like that. So if I need the other ones for some reason, then it still works. So it still works for the whole set. Alrighty, getting there. So we'll not need any sound for this. I am at home, so I could actually power this thing through, but I just want to use the batteries for some simplicity of moving. So, you know, just still run the Jupito Proline RED approved ones. Super important if you actually go for a third party brand to stick into your camera. Make sure it actually does. So I bought a set for this the first time around, same brand, but we're missing, if we can focus there, right there it says, it says RED approved, okay? So you got to look for that in the pictures, because most people don't even put in the description. A lot of people don't even know. I actually had to go to a camera house to grab these ones the night before having to do a shoot, because I discovered the other ones didn't work, because they came in time in the mail, but they weren't approved. So the camera, where it could be powered by it, didn't recognize the battery, so it couldn't see the percentage that they were running at. I don't even know if they could switch between the two, because it runs through one battery and then goes through the other battery. But if it can't read the batteries, does that mean it just goes one battery and then shuts down in the middle of a shot? It can't guarantee it's regulating current. So yeah, you want the approved stuff, and be careful, because now I can't even sell them back on eBay. So that sucks. Okay, so let's turn this around, and we'll set up the screen as well, because again, shooting by yourself, this little screen on top is not the easiest to look at when you're over there. So I've managed to actually repurpose my old Atomos Shogun. That's what I was after. My Shogun. And this is what that is. So this is the first generation Shogun Atomos D, little 7-inch monitor. And yeah, it was costly. The thing cost like $3,500 when I originally bought it. And it was amazing at the time. It took what was so amazing was if you had a GH4 and you went into through HDMI out of the camera into this, you can use the hard drive space on the back here to record in ProRes, which now my phone can do these days, so it's not really special anymore. But what it does here, because I'm not using it as an external recorder, it is just a monitor now, then I have a 7-inch screen, SDI 12G, which it had back then. I have a nice little 7-inch monitor. It still does peaking, zebraing, all that sort of stuff as well. So it's still actually really good. There's no point for me to have to go out and buy another monitor. So I've got the Atomos Ninja as well, and that's a little 5-inch one. It only has a HDMI on it. You can buy an adapter that clips onto the back of it, which can allow you to put an SDI slot into it. That comes at the cost like another $150 or $250 or something. And yeah, again, I already had this, so it can be good to hold on to certain things. It is still a beautiful screen. And you just need to be careful with the SDIs to not get an SDI burn. So we do not want to plug that into the camera at this point, leaving that out until we turn everything on when we're getting ready for the actual shot. Let's close these things up. Don't need my cats crawling into it. Alright, let's see. Let's turn this. I could probably get away with this actually being directly behind me in this shot. Somewhere about here-ish. And we can angle it up. We'll make sure that we have a leg behind this thing. I do not want to balance it wrong about that. Oh, don't over tighten, no, don't break it. About there. And let's turn that intensity up. Ooh, we are most definitely causing a hot spot now, aren't we? May have to pull this back a little bit. Might even come down to needing a bit of put the softbox on this thing to soften that up a little bit. Try that for now, see what happens when we get the red doing its lighting checks. So I probably should get changed to the costume at this point, which I have locked behind the green screen. Okay. Alright, so we're coming up close to half an hour into this video already. I wasn't sure how long this was all going to take. Let's just unclip that, this will be easier. Another little trick I've been doing in recent times is if it's a moving box and becomes a dedicated costume box. So you can put all your costume pieces, props for a character that's inside of a box. In this case, it actually takes up the Thor outfit with some of the props and things, hammer and all that business in there. It ends up taking up a lot of this box. I've gone with the new Thor from Love and Thunder in this particular case. So it's mostly I really like the red jacket he has. It's cool. And yep. Pants, belt, little Thor helmet for Cat. And annoyingly, I have a weird shaped body. I had to buy two. That was a real pain. Shirt. Yeah, that was annoying when I bought the one I thought was going to be right for me, and then I got it and it looked like I was wearing a tent. So that was, yeah. Get away without the shoes, I believe, in this shoot as well, for this particular shot. Let's just put this off to the side. Alright. There. That. Alright, just put the pants on, I can come back in a shot. I haven't got enough subscribers to do this in front of the camera. There we go. So, safe to say, if you have more hands on deck, then this process is so much quicker. I'm doing so much of this with my head cut off now too. It's really rude of me. So this is not the official belt, but the belts that came with the actual costume kit were really crap. So I've got quite a belt collection from some of my Western shorts that I've done, so that became what I did. Alrighty, I've got enough subscribers to do this. So, yeah. And if you got my workout videos and things too, so I can show a little chest for camera. The singlet was cool. I am glad I have 2 of these because the other one will become a part of my workout attire. It's cool. Alright, I'm not going to put the jacket on right now because that gets things sweaty when that gets put on. Alrighty, so I'm going to move the main camera back now because there's really not a lot of room here whilst doing this. So I'm going to bring this back over here. So I'm not going to be able to see the red on shot anymore. Yeah, I'll give it as much as I can. And if I end up doing this on 20mm, and let's turn this on now. On. Both these things have their boot up time. MJ. Hey, come down. Not up there. Come on. There. Good girl. Okay, so now we want to feed that things are on. We want to now feed the SDI into the Komodo. Come on, there it is. Alrighty, and we have now vision on that screen there. Let's pull this back around to 20. Aperture. There it is. All right, opening that right up. That's pretty big now. Let's turn it across. Okay. Let's check for hotspots, eh? So, up on the iPhone, it seems to be flickering hotspots, but let's check. Okay, so let's bring this down, eh? So you can see this too. Alright, so we have the monitor on the camera. I've turned it around so I get to see it. And yeah, we have our pieces in here. So right now the peaking's on, so we see this little bit of red outline, so it's actually focused on the light itself over there, which is only 11%. It's not going outrageous, but let's see. I can't remember off the top of my head where the tools are hiding. I believe it has. Here we go. Up here. So yeah, we see right here, very strong level right there. It's definitely hard. So yeah, this little red piece over here. Couldn't say what the grey is doing. It might be accepting that, but does not like that ring right there. So if we look at here, we turn this down. Let's see. That's what happens. We go to say 30%. It still says there's quite a ring going on. I think the ring got smaller though, the whole lot. So let's have a look again. Yeah, so it's shrinking as I do that, as we lose all the light. So down at 8% is where we lose the red ring. And now that's just quite dull altogether. So not what we're actually after, is it? I want that up. And I will get the softbox out and see what that does to that red ring now. I put it just over there. No, where did I put that damn thing? Ugh, you put something off to the side and then you lose track of it. Where did I put it? Behind there. Ah, it's behind the green screen. Okay, very good. That's not so bad. So you can see, it's pretty hot. Oh, sorry. Change the angle of the phone. Whoa. Around. Okay. Let's hook this back up here for a moment so we actually have some stable footage so I can actually work. So one of the cool things is, even though this is an LED panel, they still come with a softbox to help diffuse how strong the light is. Oh, pop out. Good luck for me folding that back up ever. More plastic. So, oh, okay. We have little peg things here. There we go. Click. So this keeps some distance from the front from the lights. Yep. Moisture capture thing. Ah! There we go. That's that. Oops. Okay. Little Velcro dealies, which will hook in. So there's some little clips behind there. And we'll show to just put that over, like so. And, oh yes, just looking at it immediately, that helps to disperse the light quite a lot, because right now, like that, there's still that red ring that displays on the, as soon as I put that over, it has diminished, taken that ring away completely. So there. Last one. Like that. So now, let's see what we can do. We'll crank this up much higher. So we're at 23. Where is it? Oh, there we go. We've got a bit of a hot spot again now. Here-ish. Let's see if we can't change some of the camera settings to fix that. So it can be as easy as just get in there. But if we remember, I've also got to turn the aperture right down, which that takes the hotspot away immediately as well. goes into the dark of everything. So yeah, again, let's see that. So right now, this is aperture full open, so T2.8. So as we go down, so you've got a big hot spot there in the middle. We drop, and that's barely moved. That's gone from 2.8, and there at 4, it's completely dropped that off. So again, we want to close this up quite a lot as well, because, oh no I didn't, sorry, what am I talking about? But yeah, we can drop that down, and that's fixed up heaps of that. But what we want to do is get back into the settings, and we want to get the shutter speed up. I don't normally play with that much, I normally keep it at the 180, but because we are going to have some rapidly flying around hair, we need to change that. Show you that way. Even maybe 45 degree will be the way to go. And yeah, okay. So I have this big light over here, which is going to change things up quite a bit. Again, it's going to replicate being the sun. So I think we got that fairly dialed in. Let's see. It's fully open currently. Alrighty, so roughly in the shot, I want that light to be up a little higher. I have a bench back there, which I could probably balance it up on. That's where it's gonna go. Okay. I don't have any control over this light. It's just going to blast. So I actually may need to pull out those filters yet. Getting there. Just turn this around a little. Alrighty. Cables there. So this thing's 150 watt LED large light, and boom! So yeah, that's that has brought some light into the shot. Alrighty. Yeah. It's bright. Okay, so let's see what we can do now. That definitely changes things up. I see that hot spot now, eh? It just says the whole thing is grey. That's probably really good. So I might be able to take that out of shot now, and it's coming from a slight angle to help diffuse any shadows that I might cast back on here. But that is causing a pretty even shot over the whole thing. So angle this down a little bit. I was not expecting that to hit so hard. Let's turn this up 100, just splashing some green across there. The other point is I'm going to be right about here, and so according to the false color on the Shogun, it's pretty good. I'm actually slightly on the colder side of things, so Go figure, eh? Cool. So there is some shadowing going on back there. Don't know how much we can help that now, because I can't do much about it. So if I'm here, that light is already somewhat protruding. Alrighty, it is what it is, I believe. So what I'm going to cheat this fly, I'm going to use a old computer swivel chair I got. I can pull the back off. I'll just grab that. I'll be back in a moment. Special effects, they take time. Doing it by yourself takes a lot longer. I think between these two lights at the moment, actually running 157 or something off that big one up there, and which is my stand-in for the sun right now. Almost out. And the Amaran 60C at full power is up around 80 watts. Come out. Good grief. There it is. What a screwing. Alrighty. Now the next thing is going to be lining up the leaf blower. That, again, by yourself, tricky stuff. So I think with all this floor, I can actually get good green screen over here. So as always, you want to try and make sure all crinkles are there. All crinkles you want out as best as you can. So for the camera's sake down there, yeah. Alright. Get these things out of shot. And we can probably neaten up the floor a little bit. As that appears to be in shot at the moment. Because yeah, those crinkles are an absolute pain to deal with in post. You can fix them with a lot of effort. Okay, about there. Now I want to focus. Oh, I think I can just reach. There's that focus wheel. Where are we? A bit of red rings around me, so unlike your iPhone and things like that, this is full manual experience. Okay. Weirdly enough, this thing is shining so hard, unless I get really close, there's no shadows coming off me. But the light, the light over here is casting a shadow. It's not going to be in the shot, but there is a shadow being cast by the light. So, yeah. So again, this basic flying, this is going to be straight at the camera when doing this. So I'm keeping it simple there. I've done some other shots already. Got one flying down a street and flying through a car park. And those had me balancing on this with the green screen and actual turning to try and actually match some angle changes in those other shots. But we're getting really close now. I'm just gonna scare the crap out of my other cat. He just rocked up. Yeah, he didn't like that. Come on. Outside, come on. So yeah, it's actually a pretty strong Ryobi 32 volt leaf blower. Borrowed this. Makes a lot of sound. So again, this is where there's no chance of capturing audio for this. There we go, now he's gone. Yeah, it's no audio capture for this. This is going woo! So might actually be able to use one of those clamps. See if that can actually get around. I was thinking tape or something, but might be able to use one of those clamps that we have for the green screen. It's always useful, all that sort of stuff. You buy things, you think you're never using them, and then one day you need them. So does that go far enough? Oh, it's close. Don't think it will. Oh. Scared myself. It does hold. It does hold. Yeah. Alrighty. So I believe I'm going to have to angle this slightly upwards to get what I'm after, and I'll be able to lay it up against one of my camera cases. Now I did have my pop-out screen, but again this big light is shining so hard I don't think I actually need it. It's I'm not getting any hard shadows down my face. It's not in this close proximity. I was concerned as to how well this stuff would actually be. First, it's providing a lot of light. So I'm putting a small one down here first, and we'll see how much of an angle we get out of that. Slipping between the tripod of the camera. Back there. Oh no. Yeah. Small case, angle it upwards. How's that? That might do it. Don't want to touch in the tripod though either, it's going to vibrate. Okay, that might shoot me square in the face. Right there, I think that lines up. About there. Yep, that's going to be straight in the eyes. Yes. All right. So, jack it on, clamp up that. Maybe I hit record first because that's going to be annoying with all that blasting. All right, I think it's time to actually shoot. This is not going to be super difficult. It's going to be me just acting like a tool for probably 10 seconds, so I've got a bit to work with. It's cutting from the previous shot, so I don't have to actually get the starting of my panic. We can just go straight into it. So yeah, time to act like a tool for a good 10 seconds or so, and see how that it all pans out. So unclip the hair from the ears. So I took again the Love and Thunder hairstyle. I actually used a hair straightener before to get this, the Thor look. I don't know. Oh, what's that over there? What is that? What's? Oh, it's my hair from behind. Okay. It was I'm looking at it in reverse. So they got me, and that little piece there. Okay, it's all good. So the lights, last little check. So yeah, the goalposts say actually red's a little hot, but only marginally. So that's actually really good. And we'll just hit record. We're still on. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And I got the jacket on. Again, I don't want to be doing this while the leaf blower is blasting. The hammer is there, which is not going to be in shot anyway. Yeah, where did I put that clamp? There. Oh, it's so loud. It's annoying. Alright, ready people? This is going to be a really obnoxious sound. That was unexpected. I better stop that one. And stop. The leaf blower blew the green screen over. Good work, eh? Okay, so that may be the end. We'll watch back that footage because we have an external monitor. Alright, let's see if we got anything good. There's the setup. Oh, it's actually on the camera, isn't it? Let's scrub along a little. There we go. So leaf blower is on at this point. Are we still playing? We're not, it paused. Well, that's embarrassing. Now it's playing, there we go. Let's see what we pulled off here. Leaf blower's going. You can't fake that. Look at the hair flying. Well, you can fake with a leaf blower, but there's no doing anything in post with that. And yeah, by lowering the shutter, that hair is looking pretty crisp from what I'm seeing right here. Hopefully it stays like that. Really well balanced in the white balance down there, if you can see the little thing over there. So all in all, that I think was pretty successful for what we're trying to achieve. And we're coming right up into an hour, so that's I don't know, a clean number, I guess. I'm looking at the wrong camera here. Yeah, and if you actually watch this live, thank you. And if you hung around at all, thank you. That's really cool. If you watch this later, hopefully you get something out of it. Again, see some of the mistakes I made. It's a bit of, filming by yourself. It's not easy to be done. A little bit of green splash. Lean forward where I was, and it's all gone. So that's going to be coming off the actual light itself, all that glow. So yeah, hopefully you learned something, some do's and don'ts about how to get this stuff done. And if you stick around on my channel, you like, subscribe, you'll see I will edit this up and release this. If if you come along the journey with this to watch this video, and you get to see the result. I'm not going to make you wait however long it's going to take me to finish this video. I have a bad habit of jumping around from project to project, But I'll get this shot together and you can see in another video the actual outcome. So yeah, thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far. And I'm thinking of doing more videos like this in future, hopefully with an actual person to hold the camera and it's not me. Get a dedicated behind the scenes person. I've got some other cool things, some it's more stunt orientated stuff, given that's what I do. And yeah, stay tuned for future content. Thank you.